This is the work I put into Thursday spell. Now, I do implement a bit of, I guess, Christian lore into my work. I've been studying angel magic and some other things, but you can do this any way you want to. I find everything out that I can find about doing my spell, the day and the time that this spell should be worked, and everything associated with that day, that hour, and that spell. Now, on a Thursday, abundance, business, and good fortune. These are my hours of which I feel that I would be most likely to have the greatest impact on that spell. I break down colors, angels, days, stones, elements. A lot of this is self-explanatory. I can talk and talk and talk, but if you just read what I'm doing, my herbs, my jewels, my animals, air, breath, and blow, make the mill of magic go, work the will for which we or I pray, or I intone, whatever you want to do. Remember now, your workings can be modified from any script or method. So, what we worked with is I started on a Thursday. Jupiter. I worked it at 10 p.m. I could not, for some reason, find my candles, but had I found my candle, I would have lit a blue candle. My angel was Sachiel. My stone was amethyst. My element was air. My animal was crow. Now the sigil, I did the sigil. Okay. Success. This is Sachiel's, the archangel, Sachiel. Number grid, planetary number grid, and the angel grid they're synonymous. It's kind of interesting though. I wasn't aware of how much they looked alike. Look at that. Isn't that very close? I thought so. Anyway. Now when I'd done an extra sheet of paper, I wrote my sigils on it, my intent on it, my herbs, my seal. Now, I started 5 minutes before 10. I like to use a rubbing stone. I do a lot of fireplace magic, and that's kind of the old school craft. We don't have a fire today because the wind is 30 miles an hour outside, and this is my little cook set here. I do, it's just my little meditation thing, and but most of my work is done here. But when you do a working, find as much as you can about that day and all the attractions that go with it. I have multiple books that I use. This is more of a modern age, practical, solitary magic. But she goes into a lot of things that could be useful to somebody trying to find days and times and that's a lot of information there. Yeah. See what I mean? So if my element was air, there's a lot of things that I could add into this that isn't even in it because of my element air. I could have added even more. incense, sound, and breath. Now you'll notice what little incantation I used. See, everything kind of, that's where I got that. This, I really didn't like this book in the beginning, but you know, after reading it 5 or 6 times, you expound on intellectual skills. See, that's what I was shooting for here. Intellectual skills. Look at the bottom. Writing. Optimism. Magnolia. Mints. I used mint. I used rose. And I used something else. I can't remember. Honeysuckle. And I actually used an offshoot on my, I used a desert rose. I have it up on my mantle and I'll just keep it there. There's my crow. So, I didn't focus on the incense so much. This book here is Practical Solitary Magic. Nancy B. Watson. This isn't a book review, but, and I really wasn't crazy about her book, but it has become more and more useful to me. The Crooked Path is one of my primaries. I used to horse side write. I use a lot of work from Jibba Gary. But when you do a spell, do more than just the preliminaries. Pull in your energy, focus on your intent, and send it out. And once I was done, I felt I'd done all that I could do. I folded up my paper, I sealed it, and I laid it on the fire and asked the air to deliver my intentions to the universe, and it was done. Now, I've done this on the first quarter at 10 p.m. because I felt that was an appropriate timing for this working. I hope this helped a little bit.